Another round of applause. Well, I want to commend the special advisor for bringing to bear all the experiences he has acquired in different states, from Lagos, from Ondo, now in Osun. He has shown that he's a master of the subject, and he has made the presentation in such a way that the whole thing appears real, as if it is happening in this room. Another round of applause to him. Well, there are some things I have noted, because I know issues of environment and sanitation are almost the same all over. The fact that when this administration came on board, there was no policy direction, and now a lot has been achieved. The fact that there are sanctions against defaulters. You have market sanitation days, neighborhood cleaning days, physical participation of stakeholders, particularly the governor, deputy governor, the politicians, the obas, the women, and so on and so forth.
And the head of service.
And the head of service, yes. A round of applause for the head of service. One thing I have noted is I was in Abuja when the Waste Management Authority in Lagos State was given the award for the best waste management authority in Nigeria. That was in June. I witnessed it by the National Productivity Order of Merit Center. They gave the National Productivity Order of Merit Award to Lagos State. And for Osun State to recognize that Lagos is a leader. Yes, to recognize greatness means that you yourself, you are great. So I want to commend such networking to all of us. In networking, you can recognize organizations that are ahead of you, in which case you see them as mentors. So Osun is treating Lagos as a mentor, and Osun will continue to develop. Amen. At the same time, you can identify twins. So such networking we call twinning. So let us try among the South-West states, the 6 states, let us try and network with one another. Which states are at the same level, in which case we are twinning in our relationship. What is happening in your state that is not happening in my state, I can replicate your best practices, and vice versa. Where you have a state like Lagos ahead of you, you can be a mentee state for Lagos State to be a mentor. And I have seen a lot of development, a lot of improvement in Osun based on that relationship, and I commend them for that. Then, the use of biogas for electricity is another thing that I feel we could look into in the other states and see how we can generate electricity from biogas. Since he said they have electricity for 6 to 7 days, even without NEPA. So that is an area that I feel we can all look into. It is good that you have 1.5 million seedlings for your Abiye project. That is a major way of afforestation. In Ondo State, we have 4 million seedlings. And that's why, for that award, Ondo received the best forester of the year. This National Productivity Order of Merit was given to Ondo State. So instead of 1.5, we have 4 million. And in Ondo State, we have a house, a tree is the policy. Every house is encouraged to plant a tree. So it's good that it's Abiye here. But we can also make it a student a tree. Whatever policy your government will want to put in place, I believe, is to encourage afforestation. Beautification of the environment, we have all seen that they are doing a good job, and I pray they will just continue to improve. And maybe by the end of 4 years, there will be a lot of tourist attractions in Osun State based on beautification of the environment. Dredging, good. We used to hear of flooding in Osun, maybe Osun River, I don't know what the river is called. But now, what you have done has shown that the way you treat the environment treats you. Whatever you put into it is what the environment gives you back. Now that you have put all these things in place, then you'll be enjoying the environment, and there will be no flooding based on improved activities that you are going to put in. For OAU, because I belong to Great Ife, I want to solicit for your continued support for that university to deflood, to make sure that there is no flooding in that university and then in the adjoining city, Ile-Ife itself. So we commend you for what you are doing there, but please continue to do more to avert flooding. I'm happy you are passing through those states and you can feel your impact based on what you have said. But I must tell you that we have as part of the beautification exercise, we have automat, we have a motor park on Ondo Road. So a lot of efforts have been put into the beautification of Akure as a millennium city. And you didn't talk about your amphibious excavator. Because I know that apart from manual channelization, you have mechanical channelization. How many amphibious excavators do you have in Osun State to be able to cope with all these problems? So once again, I want to thank you for the exposition and to say that we should continue with the good works in Osun State. Another round of applause. So I now welcome comments or questions. Next.
The head of service of Ondo, may I pray your indulgence to stand on the existing protocol. Mine is going to be a contribution. Let me first by commending Honorable Ilori for the presentation. Well done. I wouldn't have expected anything less from you. Honorable Ilori is a smooth talker.
Please give us your name and your state.
I'm Bola Ilori, Acting Pansec, Ministry of the Environment. Lagos State.
Lagos.
I'm going to start with the planting of trees. You are planting trees to encourage afforestation. And you know that it is desirable to have the planting of trees, felling of trees criminalized. If for any reason you want to fell a tree, you should try and plant 5 in place of that. Tree planting can also be used to commemorate important days in our lives, and birthdays, and wedding anniversary. It doesn't necessarily have to be India alone. There is need for abandoned political will to address environmental challenges within the zone. Environmental pollution, they are transboundary in nature. The pollution that is occurring in Lagos as a result of industrial activities might be felt severely in Osun or Oyo. What I'm saying in essence is that we don't have to politicize our policy in the area of environment. In Lagos State, for example, we have Operation Green Lagos. Because of the lost glory of ecological state of the state, due to military intervention, oil boom era. So the state government decided to have as a policy, as one of the major policy thrust of this administration, Operation Green Lagos. You can now see how the entire state, the entire landscape of the state has been transformed. And the state government has continued to receive accolades for this single effort alone. Also, according to UNDP, we should try as much as possible to reserve at least 5% of our budget allocation for management of the environment and sustainability. It is capital intensive. Normal for the Waste Management Authority, for example, we need a lot of machinery, equipment, compactors, and what have you to take care of the waste management. So we need money to sustain this. About beautification. Beautification should not be seen as a way of enhancing the aesthetics of the environment. It is indeed a mitigating measure to combat climate change. It is no longer a myth. Climate change is real, and the Lagos state government has assumed the leadership position in trying to find a way to combat the menace of climate change. And finally, I want to implore us to have devolution of powers. We should try as much as possible to establish agencies that will implement the policy of government. For example, all the beautified sites in Lagos State will now be handled by the newly created agency, LASPA. People have been asking us, when Governor Fashola leaves, what is going to become all the things that you have done in the area of beautification? We've been able to prove them wrong with the establishment of this agency alone. So we should try as much as possible to look in that line. And when I was coming yesterday, I can see lamp posts, I see advertising audience. I don't know what the state of Osun is doing in that regard. There's need to regulate that sector. There was a time in Lagos State when we have billboards that were placed in haphazard manner without regards to danger, without regards to safety. Until when that sector was regularized with the establishment of LASA, Lagos State Signage and Advertising Agency, that we have respite in that field. And in fact, LASA is now a cash cow for the state government. I've been giving signals to run. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to take the last speaker.
Let them ask questions and then they...
Mr. Chairman, all other protocols observed. I'd like to join other contributors in commending the presentation by the Mr. Environment of the State of Osun. I appreciate you very much. In a lighter mood, I don't know whether I was sufficiently convinced whether that terminology should have been Igi Abiye or Igi Aloye, talking about Yoruba language. Igi Omo, Igi Abiye, Igi Aloye, not Igi Abiye, but you may have your own business with another person. Secondly, like every one of us has copied from the Big Brother Lagos, anybody passing through Ibadan, passing through, yes, Ibadan, or your state now, would have seen a lot of differences in terms of environmental improvement and beautification as we copied from Lagos State, and I think our government has been doing a lot of good work in that area. There's nothing bad in copying a good thing from anywhere, or the best practice from anywhere. And that's the essence of all this regional integration. It's for good. It's for the gains of all the components used. However, there is another issue. Yes, oyster, not much was mentioned about oyster in that presentation. Oyo State image, which we call LASA. We have Oyo State oyster, which is another aspect of improvement of environmental circumstances. However, the one that interests me too, by the time I tell you, you know the reason why I got so carried away. In the presentation, there is an aspect of that presentation which, if Osun State of Osun is able to fix it, it will be a breakthrough, not only for the southwestern states, but for almost the whole of Africa. It was reported that the state of Osun was already inviting the Cubans to come and solve the problem of mosquitoes. The most popular ailment in this part of the world is malaria, and what causes it is mosquitoes. It's the dangerous vector. Whenever we travel abroad, Britain, I always ask my friends there, what is it? You people are never, affected by, what have they done here to drive away mosquitoes? Is it only the weather? Now I've been to Jos. There are mosquitoes in Jos, and the weather is almost as cold as what we have in London. If the state of Osun is able to solve this problem, we will be happy to come and prostrate here and get the formula and get whatever partners you are able to get. And I'm sure all the other states of the Federation will like to come and copy what is done here. I want to pray for the state of Osun to get through with that program and to be successful. And Nigeria will be a better place to live. Thank you very much.
My name is from Oyo State. While joining those who have commented earlier on the last presentation, I want to say it was a very beautiful one. And like someone said, it has a smooth talker. Yes. Believe me, I agree with that. I agree to that comment in total. Having said that, I have just a very small comment just to corroborate what some people have said. It's about this tree planting issue. Believe me, if we all will be very, very serious with the environmental challenge we're facing as a result of climate change, which some years back, when the Western world, when they were of the view that climate change was coming, then they were speculating that maybe it would take 50 to 100 years for it to have any impact. Believe me, it did not take up to 2 years before the impact started being felt. And now we know what it is all over, in fact, not just in Nigeria, it's all over the world now. We know what the experience is in the USA, in UK, and other parts of the world. When the paper was being presented, we were told that for every child, Well, my head of service has corrected me. It is now Igi Aloye, not Igi Abiye. Well, what I'm trying to get at is this. I believe it is not sufficient to have the mother and the child plant a tree each. What are the fathers doing? No, they should plant theirs too. Believe me, we all need to make a more concerted effort. The tree planting should not be a ceremonial issue. It shouldn't be when we are marking one particular event or the other. It should be, if possible, a weekly thing. In schools, in so many, all these tertiary institutions and all that. Make it compulsory for all of them to go out there. Osun State has a large expanse of virgin land. Likewise, other states too, except for maybe Lagos State. We can give you some views from Lagos. So please, I think we need to do more on the issue of tree planting, because that is the only way in which we can combat climate change and increase the ozone layer of our environment. I like to say that each time I come to Osogbo, it is always with a sense of nostalgia, because when I was 6 years old, and for the first time being in the primary school, I was brought here to Osogbo to attend school at Children's Boarding School, Osogbo, and I was there throughout all of my primary school days. So it is always, Osogbo is always like another homecoming. What I want to bring out from that is that Osogbo has always been known to be a place where maybe there's a national grid or whatever. There had always been lacked so much electricity in Osogbo. Better use should have been made of the availability of electricity in Osun State to enhance industrialization of the state, even better than what we have now. Thank you.
Mr. Lecturer, sir, answers to questions?